Let's return to federal politics out of Canberra now. Joining me is a Liberal MP, member for Fisher, the former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Andrew Wallace. Andrew, thanks for your time. Some developing news today. The manager of opposition business, Paul Fletcher, is pulling the pin, is retiring. Is this a sign that the Liberal moderates are going from a weak position to even weaker now?
Oh, look, I don't think so, Kieran, but look, Paul Fletcher has been a tremendous servant of the Liberal Party in Queensland, in New South Wales, and federally. He's been a senior ranking member when we were in government, and also in opposition, manager of opposition business. He's been a terrific fellow, and sad to see him go.
When you've got Simon Birmingham and now Paul Fletcher announcing their retirement in as many weeks, they're both senior moderates. Can you see why some would look at that and think, okay, well, this is a sign that Peter Dutton's right of the party is very much dominant and continues to be more dominant by the day?
Oh, look, I don't think you can read too much into it. People leave politics for various reasons. Burmo announced that he's 50. He wanted another career, and good luck to him. 18 years in the Parliament, another terrific servant of the Liberal Party. I really don't think you can read too much into it. And the fact of the matter is, we've got a very, very long line of depth of very talented people who will no doubt be stepping up to fill Paul's place.
Indeed, there's never shortage of ambition in this place, the Parliament. No. That's for sure. The Prime Minister the Prime Minister's heading to the Synagogue in Ripponlea in Melbourne today, which was so tragically the subject of that terrorist attack at the end of last week. Is it a time now that the both sides of politics should try and unify around that community, which obviously is feeling a great deal of fear and uncertainty, the Jewish community in this country?
Well, Kieran, the Jewish community is grieving. I spoke with a number of different rabbis over the weekend from around the country, and they are grieving at the loss for their community. A scene that is reminiscent of the Kristallnacht in Germany during World War II. An absolute disgrace. Who would have thought that would have happened on Australian soil? So, look, I think what we are seeing, and the anger that is directed towards the lack of leadership from the Prime Minister and the Labor government, is a direct result of the fact that Labor have let the Jewish community down in Australia. They have mounted a relentless campaign against Israel in the United Nations. And it comes as absolutely no surprise to me whatsoever that we have seen this appalling act. We have been warning the government of this. If the Prime Minister, if the Labor government did not step up and take strong action against anti-Semitism, then we were very concerned about this. And of course, the news that you've just broken just a few moments ago about potential copycat from Queensland, very concerning. But does it come as any great surprise to us? No, it doesn't. It doesn't come as any great surprise that members of the Jewish community are booing Labor members of Parliament.
These are live pictures coming into the newsroom from Ripponlea, from that synagogue in Melbourne that was attacked. The Prime Minister is due to arrive there any minute now, alongside his colleague Josh Burns, who is already there to welcome the Prime Minister at that synagogue, which sadly was the subject of that terrible attack last week, which could have been even worse. It did happen in the early hours of the morning. We know there were two people inside praying. Thankfully, they're okay. It's lucky that they are okay, Andrew Wallace.
That's right.
When we see the message, we see a message internationally now to Jews that Australia. They should be wary of travelling to Australia.
And look, that is just, it's heartbreaking for the Jewish community in Australia, and quite frankly, it's heartbreaking for Australians. I could not tell you the number of people in my own electorate who have stopped me in the street and talked about and told me how ashamed they are of how the Prime Minister and this government has represented represented Australians, or lack thereof, on this issue. The Prime Minister is constantly playing catch up here. Peter Dutton announced a very strong response just yesterday about how the coalition would respond to this anti-Semitism by setting up a multi-agency task force involving the AFP, the Australian Border Force, the Australian Criminal Intelligence Commission, State Police, AUSTRAC. Peter Dutton wants to throw everything at this, unlike the Prime Minister. We want to try and stop this. It's too late to say stop it, nip it in the bud, because it's gone too far for that. But we really need to make an example of these people who are out there committing acts of terrorism and anti-Semitism. It is un-Australian, and the task force that Peter Dutton announced yesterday will do just that. I was really and in fact, I sent Peter a message this morning to encourage him and thank him for looking to amend the Migration Act, Section 501, which will amend the character test. Anybody that's been involved in these sorts of offences, if they are not a citizen, they should not be here. They should be deported. So I really welcome it.
Okay. Andrew Wallace, former Speaker of the House of Reps, thanks. Talk to you soon.